I sat down to record this today, and honestly, I didn't want to. Not because I don't care, but maybe because I cared too much. The truth is, some days I feel like I'm pouring that care into a void. My kid's heading off to college soon, and there's a sadness hanging in the air that I can't quite shake. I built something I believe in, but lately it feels like I'm talking to no one. And the truth is, I almost didn't hit record today because admitting these thoughts feels like admitting failure. I keep asking myself, is it still worth it? But I am learning that maybe this is what showing up really looks like. Not when it's easy, but when it's real. So if you're here and listening, you're not alone, and neither am I. When you feel that ache of building something that matters, but you're not sure anyone's listening, that's exactly when it matters most. Find the full transcript and bonus resources for physician moms at inspiredmommds.com/73. You're listening to the Inspired Mom MDs podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Cindy Van Praag. I help physician moms take back control of their time and energy so they can prioritize what matters most and thrive at work and at home. I've been thinking a lot lately about fear, specifically the fear of failing, not failing in the oops, I made a mistake kind of way, but I mean that gut level fear that if this thing I've built doesn't succeed, whatever that even means, that it will prove every worst thing I've ever suspected about myself, that I'm not really that good, or what I say maybe doesn't matter. It will prove that people can overlook me even when I'm saying something really important, that the world can nod at someone else saying the same thing, but maybe with more sparkle and still not see me. It's just that this world, it tends to reward those loud voices and flashy brands, right? Those are the big followings and they get so much exposure. But here I am trying to be honest and real, and sometimes that feels like shouting into the void. And that's the mind game of building something from scratch. It kind of feels like a game, right? But it's not just strategy, it's you on the line. It's your time and your heart and your dreams for your family and your belief that you might be able to do something different than the path laid out for you. So you show up again and again, and when it feels like no one responds, it's hard to take that as a verdict. If you're still listening, thank you. I know this episode is a little different off the beaten path, but I also know I'm not the only one who feels this friction of doing deep work, but not knowing if it's working. Maybe you're here also staring down something you've poured into your heart and wondering, is it still worth it to continue? I wish I could give you a crystal ball. I wish I could say for certain that tomorrow will bring the moment it all clicks. But the truth is, sometimes clarity doesn't arrive like lightning, most times, actually. It comes more like a sunrise. It's quiet and subtle, but it definitely makes itself known when you start seeing a change in the way you think and feel. There's something sacred in choosing to keep showing up anyway. So for today, I'm reminding myself, and maybe you too, that this feeling, this friction is just a moment in time. It's not a final verdict. Tomorrow might bring clarity or another wave of doubt or even a sign to pivot. I don't know, but I do know this. Showing up honestly is never wasted. And sometimes just saying the hard thing out loud is what clears space for something new to grow. So if some days are feeling heavy for you too, know that you're not alone. I'm in it right alongside you. Maybe we don't need to have it all figured out right now. Maybe we just need to keep showing up, keeping honest, and trust that clarity will come in its own time, on its own schedule. So I don't have a big takeaway for today's episode, no perfect ribbon to tie it all up. Just this. I'm still here, still building, and I still believe and have hope even when it wavers. I'm still asking the same question you might be asking too. Is it still worth it? And for today, my answer is yes, even with a little doubt, even without proof, because presence and truth still matter, maybe more than ever. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening and holding space for realness. I will be back next week, maybe with more clarity, maybe still sorting it all out, but always with truth. And if you've ever been in this spot, wondering if what you're building is worth it, I would love to hear from you. Let's remind each other we're not alone. Thank you for tuning in today to Inspired Mom MDs. If this episode resonates with you, please share with a friend who may benefit too. And I humbly ask you to please leave a review so other doctor moms can find me too. And a quick reminder, my disclaimer, this podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and isn't a substitute for medical care or medical advice. I'm a board certified physician, but this content isn't connected to my clinical practice, and no doctor-patient relationship is formed here. Please always talk to your own health professional about any mental or physical health concerns. And as always, take what helps and just leave the rest. Please see inspiredmommds.com for full disclaimer. Thank you, guys.